That's incoming. I'm a pretty boy, I'm stunning. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. Call me big.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the franchise. We got some returning voices here. Greg,
Happy to be back, Vin.
Kevin, and Raffi.
You couldn't scare us off last time, so we're back.
This was kind of a quick little put together here. I didn't know what day I was going to be recording and what was good with all this, and I kind of asked you guys last second to come on tonight, so I really appreciate that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially with the Patriots, so I'm going to get right into it. With the normal lineup I usually do with the Bruins starting off, has a tough loss the other night to the Rangers 4-0. It's not exactly the best team in the league to lose to. Was it 4 or 5-0? Did it become 5-0?
I think it was 4-0.
It was 4. Yeah, I lost track after like the third goal. I mean, hey, Tuukka's hurt, and I've said multiple times that this team needs to make some moves. I had Auden on my last video, and he was talking about Eichel, the rumors with that potentially, and we're just like, I don't think it's going to happen. But
with an undisclosed injury, though?
Yeah,
out for the future?
He's not, foreseeable future, he's out, but I'm trying to be a little more realistic here. They definitely need a trade for someone.
Yeah. In order to get him, you need to give up Pasta, though. I wouldn't do that.
I don't think they would give up Pasta.
No. I'd rather give up Krejci and like 7 first-round picks. I'm
being
completely honest.
I would give up Krejci for anything at this point.
Right,
If we could get anything for him, that'd be a win, I think.
Right. I don't know. It's tough. I think being realistic, it has to be like a wing, someone you can get for your first-round pick, because it's not going to be good. Like, you're a good team. So, I can't think of anything like any player like that right now. I don't know when the trade deadline is exactly, but what?
I mean, it's not the Patriots, but
breaking news.
Curtis Samuel.
Damn it.
Where do you go?
To where?
4 years, $48.5 million, 29 guaranteed.
Holy shit.
Potential number 1 target for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville.
Wow. Really? Wow.
So they have Curtis
Jags,
Samuel,
huh?
DJ. Yeah, we're gonna get to Patriots and
Jags.
NFL moves, but as things come in,
Just break them off.
we'll have some breaking news.
You should have had a breaking news button.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man.
That's a huge contract for him.
Now it makes sense we didn't even go for him.
It's gonna.
Well, I mean, they tried. They said the reports were all day that
That's
they were in on
almost
him.
as much as some of the top DNs are getting in this free agency period.
Yeah, it's like, what, $6 million
Some of
off?
these signings are way out of whack.
Oh, yeah.
The crazy thing is,
Because the cap went down by, what, $8 million this year?
I think so.
It
Something
went
like
down. No. It went down, I think, 7%.
7%, that's what I meant, yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, not to get too off topic, as we'll get to that at some point, but it is crazy to see guys like him and Corey Davis and the Patriots with their receivers that they've signed. They're not even the top guys, so you still got to see Kenny Golladay and Juju and Will Fuller. All these guys still have to get paid. It's like, what contracts are they going to get?
Will Fuller might be under the radar just because he's suspended for like the first 4
that's
games.
true. That's true.
That, and I think his injury history is going to hold him back.
Right.
Big time.
Right.
They
He's
keep
definitely
linking
that
him
next
to
year.
the Packers, too. I wonder if they'll...
Yeah,
Because he was
trade
rumored for
rumors.
the trade rumors last year.
Yeah.
So the Bruins, I don't know. They're losing 2-1 right now to Pittsburgh on a back-to-back. So as of this recording, I know it's not going to come out right away, but I don't know. It's a tough situation. Like I don't want to say I called this, but I'm like sitting here like a few weeks ago, and it's like there's going to be a wall that's going to come. They're going to hit a wall.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're kind of at that point, which sucks. Like, you don't want to see that, but it's a part of sports. So
Yeah, I would say everything that you expected to happen to the Bruins this year so far has happened, right? Like, some of that shine has faded away from, like, DeBrusque and some of those, like, mid-tier guys, and now they're playing more to their level, whereas I think in the beginning of the year they kind of started off hot.
right.
Some of those players are coming back down to earth, and we're seeing this team for what it really is. I think one area that I would love to see them address at the trade deadline is some scoring help, particularly on the wings, like you mentioned earlier.
Right.
I think that's always a problem for us. When we get into the playoffs, all of a sudden they stop scoring when they're going against, better, tougher defenses. So I think we're going to need some more scoring help, and when we're trying to keep up with teams like the Penguins and Caps and,
Yeah. And I said last week it's all the more they need to do something like that because they're not even seeing the best teams. Like, we're seeing really good teams, obviously. Capitals and the Islanders aren't bad, and you play teams like that, and it's like, okay, but you have to remember you're on a 5 to 6 team rotation because of Corona, so you haven't even seen the Lightning. Like,
One upside is most of our games at the very end is against the Sabres.
yeah, I mean that's fine. The games still have to be played though. It's hockey,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Regardless, we're going to have to go through the Lightning, the way the playoffs are set up during
Right.
this COVID season. So either way, I don't think there's any moves we can make. We're just not on that level.
Yeah,
Regardless.
It'll be difficult.
it would be nice to see something though,
Yeah.
just to tell us like you're in it. And that's the same
Right.
thing with the team I'm talking right now with the Celtics, with all these rumors going around them. LaMarcus Aldridge, John Collins. What do you guys think?
I would love either of them, to be honest.
I think LaMarcus is more realistic. John
Think so.
Collins is going to be a little bit more difficult to get unless the Celtics somehow are willing to give up like 8 first-round picks like the Nets were for James Harden.
Yeah, I think they need to make a move just to show to the young guys, like, hey, like, we believe in you. Because I think if we're being honest with ourselves, this is probably the Nets year. We're probably looking at a Lakers-Nets finals. And
Yeah.
Nets will probably win, assuming they stay healthy. But from a development standpoint, I think it's important to continue to, improve these young guys. And they can't do that if there's no faith in the team.
Right. And, what do you guys think? What do you think it's going to take to get those guys? Because you definitely have to trade for them. Well, John Collins isn't getting bought out. That's one thing.
Aldridge might get bought out.
I don't think the Celtics get him if he gets bought out. No chance, in my opinion. They have to trade for him. I don't think a single top 50 player in this league signs with the Celtics if they get bought out. It happens every time. When's the last time you can remember the Celtics signed a player that got bought out?
I remember.
Tell me.
Greg Monroe.
Yeah.
That's the
All right.
only one.
How many years ago was that?
Complete bust.
Yeah.
Yep.
He sucked.
Awful.
Yep.
What was it, like at least 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was around there.
Yeah. So
He sucks.
there's my point. So I don't know. I don't know what they'd have to give up for Aldridge. Obviously the trade exception that has to go in. There's contracts. He's a big contract. So I don't know. Maybe throw picks. Maybe throw him Romeo Langford. Get him out of here if you want. Try to dangle still like a young, unproven talent. Like,
Honestly, I don't think the Celtics really have any good trade pieces.
Yeah,
like,
we really
oh
we
yeah,
have,
no.
we have a lot of young guys who we drafted recently that are meh. They haven't shown much. Maybe they could be decent role players, but like they're not the kind of players that like teams are lining up to trade for. Our draft picks aren't necessarily valuable. They're not lottery picks.
Right.
So I mean, I don't like. I know we're always in these trade rumors. None of them sound realistic to me.
The only people that you can trade are Pritchard or Williams. But
Yeah.
at
Right.
that point, now Tristan
rather just
Thompson's in
keep him.
rumors. I'd keep him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson's in rumors now going to Toronto, something like that.
Mm.
If you're going to trade Tristan Thompson away, you need to keep Williams at that point.
Yeah.
I think he should be starting. Time Lord's going crazy
Yeah, I
right now.
agree.
I
Yeah,
love it.
what was his stat line last night? Like 16 and 13?
16 and 13. Like
7 for 7.
3
I
blocks.
mean, his problem is he can't handle the workload. He's always getting injured.
Yeah,
like
that's-
they've
that's
tried to set him up to be the starter, but like he'll start a few games and then get injured again.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
he did have his career high in games played in a row this year. So maybe it's improving.
I hope so. He's so athletic. Like, if he can just get that injury stuff, better.
Yeah, you can't teach that
He
athleticism.
can be so solid.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a move or two to be made. I don't know. Maybe they can try to go get like PJ Tucker or something. He's probably pretty cheap if they are interested in that. Like I'd rather see him off the bench than Semi. But
I could see the smaller like people that might get bought out or might get traded for, like Wayne Ellington. Those are the things I could see.
I guess
Regardless, we're not gonna make
John
the
Collins,
finals this year.
I don't see it.
no. Aldridge is definitely more likely. But I mean, if they want to break the bank on John Collins, I would not complain at all. Like if you want to
Yeah.
give him a couple first, and I don't know Pritchard, because I heard they want a young talent plus a pick and or something else. I don't know.
Apparently, Harrison Barnes is now off the table.
I was really hoping he was a realistic.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
That
would've been
contract's
awesome.
just so gross.
At that
Yeah.
point, who cares about the
I
contract?
know. It's just a lot of money, man. Like you're strapped for a while.
Who are you going to sign?
No, I know.
You
It's
just maxed out Tatum. You have Jaylen Brown on a big contract. Kemba has a max contract.
You're right.
Kemba's contract, if you want to talk bad contracts.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's
Yeah.
improving though.
He's
improving.
showing a little bit more lately. He's not as incompetent as he was earlier on, but
It's just annoying that all three of them can't play well on the same night.
yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
I was saying that. I think I said it in one of the group chats. It drives me crazy. Like it's not that it's not that one takes the spotlight on one night, like between Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
And not even forget Kemba, putting him in that equation. It's the two of them. It's like Tatum goes nuts. What was the game they lost against the Nets? The first game back from the All-Star break. He has 31 points. He has a pretty good shooting night. And it's not that Jalen, like, fades away. You know, he takes a back seat. He just crumbled. It was like 4 for 22 shooting, like 2 for 11 from 3. It's like, imagine these guys can go off on the same night.
Imagine
consistently.
Them three were like the Nets' big three.
Right.
On a little lesser level, obviously, but if they all just went off the same night.
Right.
That's what the Nets guys have been doing.
They don't even really have to do that.
The difference is they're playing as if they're the Nets, but they're not as good as the Nets' big three. That's
Right.
the difference.
Right.
Yes.
The Nets, they don't need to worry about ball movement because they can just throw Harden in a corner and be like, all right, just jack up a three, or Kyrie here, just handle the ball, take on 2-3 guys. Like, they're talented enough to do that. But Brown and Tatum and Kemba have not reached that level yet. So they have to rely on playmaking and setting each other up and moving without the ball, which they're not doing. It's all right, Tatum, here you go. Go to the mid-range, jack up a shot. Jaylen Brown, all right, go do this in this corner. They're not moving together well, and they're playing as if they're the Nets, and they're just not good enough to do that.
Yeah. All the more they need to make a trade for someone then. Something like that. Because if you can't have the two all-stars on this team, if there's a chance, there's a risk of one just completely like fading away on any given night while the other one has a great night, and it doesn't matter if he has a great night because the Celtics can't win. You need to get someone else in here to try to make up for that, because Kemba's not good enough right now to make up for that. They might have won that game against the Nets if Jalen hit like double the amount of shots. Yeah. they might have a chance.
It was close until the end.
It was, which is classic Celtics game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know who it is. I don't know what they're not winning anything this year. But it would be nice, just like with the Bruins, make a move, show me something. Like what's that meme? Like the guy poking something. Come on, do something. Like, do something, please. Danny Ainge, do something. Sweeney, do something. Look at Bill Belichick today. Please do something, please. All right, let's get to that then. We're moving quick around here. So
Bill's opening up the bank.
Woo! Red hot. Where's it? Hold on, I got this. Bill Belichick.
You got the list?
I got the list, but I wanted to play this first. Bill Belichick, stone cold.
Let's go.
Breaking the bank.
That video never gets old.
Oh, that's the best.
Him walking through the
That's the
line
best.
stadium.
You open up Twitter and you see all the responses.
No matter
He just
what-
searches in somebody.
No matter what
always the
name, no
Lions.
matter which name it is, you see
Always,
that tweet
always.
reply.
That's great. But yeah, how many moves? Almost 10 moves today, I think.
If you wanna,
Maybe not 10.
If you wanna count our own guys that we re-signed, it was like 7 or 8 moves at least.
8 new players.
Yeah.
Wow.
8 new players. Plus they re-signed. It was Wise.
And
Yep.
there was another guy we re-signed too.
So Carl Davis, defensive tackle.
Okay, right. Yeah. So they re-signed those 2 guys, which I like. Wise I didn't see the contract. As long as it's reasonable, he's a good,
was
solid.
low.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing the contract numbers.
It was
yet.
small.
It's
amount
not
of
out.
money.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No, I like him around here. He's kind of
Good
come
system
around.
guy.
I just saw an Ian Rappaport tweet with like eyes or something like that. Titans making a strong push for Bud Dupree from the
Nah.
Steelers.
Wow.
Low-key, Steelers and Ravens are losing some defensive
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
I like it.
To free agency.
I know.
Steelers. I mean, the Ravens lost. Obviously,
that division is
Judon.
going to be very interesting to watch us here.
Right.
Dude, I mean, even the AFC, look what happened last year. The Chiefs were clearly the best team. No one can even come close to them in
Right.
the playoffs. Like the Patriots, look at our defense now with these signings. We got a few good pieces on offense. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll get another receiver. I'm hoping get another quarterback. I don't know who, but we can easily make a push in the playoffs.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. You know, they signed Jonnu Smith, 4 years, $50 million. Was it 31.25 guaranteed?
Yep.
I mean, I love him. I like Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
He has potential. He's a beast.
You just
Clearly,
need
he
somebody
can get it
better
done.
than Cam Newton to throw the ball.
The
to.
way
Yeah.
the order of these signings too is very like suspicious to me. Like the way I see it playing out is I think they want Jonah to really be that wide receiver one,
Yeah.
and then Nelson Aguilar slides into wide receiver 2. Then you have
Kendrick Bourne
at your wide receiver
Still have
3.
some good running backs.
And then
I mean,
whatever happens to N'Keal Harry at this point,
You still have
he gives
Edelman
you
coming back.
anything.
You still have Jacoby Myers.
Right. You know what that is, though? You know, you sign, what was it, Aguilar was 2 years. What was
22.
That? 22, 11 million. I mean, you know, it's football, so it's the NFL. It's not exactly 11 million a year. And then Kendrick Bourne, 3 years, 22 and a half. With the receivers, it's like you look at that, and I'm trying to look at their profiles. Kendrick Bourne was, what was he in San Francisco? You know, he was like kind of he's red zone, end zone, like big guy. You know, he's like, what is he, 6'4", I think, or something like that?
He also was injured last year.
Yeah, I was going to
a
say.
couple times, yeah.
So, but when he was healthy and playing, he actually looked pretty good.
Right, yeah. He caught a lot of touchdowns for them. He wasn't a big
Yeah.
yardage
He
guy.
does have a drop issue. That's one thing to keep an eye on with him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
it
one of
can't
those-
get worse than what we've had to deal with.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, yeah.
Hopefully Aguilar doesn't
He's
bring that
6'1".
back. Oh, he's 6'1". Why did I think he plays bigger, though? I always
Could be.
and maybe that's why I thought that. He plays a lot bigger.
No, he's that middle of the field. like-
Yeah.
He played in all 15 games, had 667 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns.
I mean, if anything,
wow,
that
okay.
benefits Cam Newton.
Well, their quarterbacks weren't exactly great this year, so that doesn't help.
So
But
he'll fit right in, basically.
yeah,
What
so
you're saying.
yeah, Aguilar. I don't know. He had
He
brick
was-
hands before last year, so
He was okay last year, but he's not worth 11 million.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the thing.
yeah, but also Derek Carr threw bombs to him, dude.
yeah.
Cam Newton can't
Cam
throw like
can't
that.
do that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the guy that you have to. You know, he's not gonna have the numbers that he had last year, but
Just to
he's
stretch the field.
yeah, he stretches the field. You don't have to
Yeah.
pay someone like Will Fuller all that money just to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you know, you pay him what he was looking for, and he does that.
Patriots just got another one.
Oh.
wait.
Get the
It's a defensive lineman, former Jets defensive lineman Henry Anderson, 2-year deal.
No idea what that is.
Don't know who that is.
I've never heard of him. So
check this out.
Yeah.
That is the 7th
Special
signing
teamer.
outside of re-signs.
is it? Is it?
Yep,
I thought it was
seventh
Are you sure?
outside-
I think it's the 9th.
They re-signed 2 players.
No, I know. I'm
No.
saying
Carl Davis and
no. That's the 9th. Jonu Smith.
Yep.
God.
I'm talking about outside of
I know,
Patriots.
I know.
Okay.
Judon.
Yep.
Jalen Mills.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I
That's what I
didn't
thought.
see. I didn't see was Wise and Davis on
That's
there.
what I thought.
Whoops. All right. Yeah.
7th
Seventh
signing outside of the
today.
Patriots organization.
Wow.
That's crazy. How much?
I wonder what the money is on that one.
I wish there was a cap like tracker. I don't think they have that.
Tom Pelissero tweeted out, Rome wasn't built in one day, but the 2021 Patriots might be.
This is really starting to feel like free agency, like a couple of years ago, or was it 3, 4?
We've never had a free agency like this.
Well, there was that one.
It was 2 other times. They only had one big name free agent, and that was about 4 years ago, I want to say.
It was Gilmore.
With Gilmore.
was the last
With Gilmore.
Yeah.
But it was that same free agent. It was Gilmore. You
Before
got
that, 2003. That was the last time this happened.
You got Gilmore. You got Lawrence Guy in that free agency. I'm pretty sure.
The
I don't think
Randy
so.
I thought
Moss
you
and
did.
Darrell Revis years, though that was through trade, technically, it was similar in that we went after a lot of big
I thought
players
Revis
those years.
signed. Didn't he sign?
Revis got
He got.
cut-
He got
he got-
cut. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
he got
Yes,
cut by the
yes,
Buccaneers,
yes, yes.
and they
And
signed
then
him.
we also traded for, what was his name? Browner?
Brandon Browner.
Browner.
Yeah.
He was a free agent.
He was a free agent, yeah. That's what,
Yeah.
that was a pretty big free agent year for
Oh
us,
yeah,
too.
yeah. I don't think anything really matches up to this. Like that.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of players coming in, bodies, the roster's growing. Like it's crazy. But going back to the Jonu thing, it's just I love it on one side, but it's like it just shows that the Asiasi and Dalton Keene picks in the 3rd round weren't
Yeah.
the best picks.
We've made some
You-
shitty picks.
Yeah, the last 5 or so years, our picks are.
They're still
For the most
rookies.
part,
I would
yeah.
say that they have time to progress, but still.
Yeah, it's just not the best look,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I mean, it's
Yeah, these signings, while great, like on the flip side, it shows like in a way, it's almost Bill admitting like he's messed up with some of these recent
right,
picks.
which has happened. Like
Because he's drafted or he's signing guys at all these positions where he recently drafted players,
Right.
that haven't panned out.
right, and that's happened before. Like whatever closest it was with free agency with the Gilmore year, it's because these picks don't pan out. You got to spend. I've said this before. You got to spend money on free agents, and there goes your cap space. And that's part of the reason why Brady isn't here anymore. So that's unfortunate. But
You want to hear a rumor?
Speaking of Brady, do we want to talk about Shaq
just saw
Barrett
that.
signing?
You saw it?
Shaq Barrett,
That
was
was
it $18 million a year?
That's a great contract
Great deal.
for the
Yeah,
Bucks.
yeah. So do you think Levante David is gone? He's still a free agent, right?
No,
By
they
the way.
signed him already.
Oh, they
2-year
already
deal.
si-
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Levante
even see
David
that.
re-signed.
He was already-
Oh, so they got their
They got
other
everything.
guys.
They're
So-
just waiting on.
You were right.
I
Lawrence,
completely
Lawrence
missed that.
Guy was with Gilmore that year.
Yeah,
You're
there's a few names that year.
They signed Rex Burkhead that year. They extended James White that year and David Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a lot of re-signing. our own
Didn't they
guys,
trade
but-
for Trent Brown that offseason too? Or am I?
No. That was
Was
the
it
year
next
after.
year?
That was the year
Okay.
after.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It's close. I mean, Gilmore's the huge signing. But speaking of which, go ahead.
I was gonna say back to the Bucks. Yeah, they signed Levante David a week ago. It was 2 years, like
I
25
completely
million.
missed that.
Dude,
Okay,
they got
yeah,
the band
cool.
back together.
Yeah,
Literally.
They just have to worry about getting Godwin on that long-term deal. Then, pretty much, that's
Yeah.
really the only
Yeah.
thing left. Wow.
I mean, yeah, Gronk will be back.
Yeah,
The only ones up in there for me, I think, are Leonard Fournette.
yeah. Do you think Antonio?
And maybe Ndamukong Suh.
I think they'll get
is also
Antonio
up in there.
Brown back.
He's probably
I
gonna
Because
take.
he's
think
boys
AB's
with
back.
Brady.
Yeah.
He's gonna take whatever.
AB and
Yeah.
Gronk are coming back.
They
They
can
don't
Yeah.
want to play for
They can
anyone
give him
else.
like small money and they'll be
Yeah.
back.
Right. So with Jalen Mills, he's like a slot corner safety. He got the 4-year, $24 million. Does that?
That's a great contract.
It is. It's $9
Especially if he
million
plays-
guaranteed.
Especially if he plays cornerback.
Right. So
Do you guys find it interesting? Like, a lot of these signings are like for the positions where players opted out of the season last year. Like,
Yeah.
I could totally see Bill being like, I don't trust these guys to come back after a year off. And like, he's signing like a Patrick Chung replacement, a Hightower
Yeah.
replacement.
it could be that, or maybe he's getting the vibe that they're not
Judon,
coming
I
back.
don't think is a high tower replacement.
Not
Not
a perfect
necessarily, yeah.
replacement, but
Yeah, a
just
linebacker.
that idea of
Yeah.
like he's trying to replace these guys that are coming off a year of not playing football.
Right.
I mean, have they said they're back in this season, like or next season?
I think a couple of them.
a couple,
have.
yeah.
I think I heard Hightower is or something like that. I don't know. I could be
The
wrong.
rumor was that everybody reported except for Cannon, and that's why Cannon got traded.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great trade, by the way,
Mhm.
dude. Oh, I love that trade. Every move so far, besides Cam, I've loved.
I would add Aguilar on that. I just don't like him.
I'll take it.
I don't love
I can't
the money.
complain too
I
much.
don't hate him. I don't love the contract.
That's
I
what
don't
it
love the
is.
contract.
I get the point of it. That's all it is. You know, like it is what it is. It could have been Corey Davis. It could have been one of these guys.
Because that's the problem. You gave him $11 million a year. For $1 million more, you could have gotten Corey Davis or Curtis Samuel. Think about it that way.
It takes like
Yeah.
the other guy wanting to come here though.
True.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, it sucks seeing him go to the Jets, obviously,
Mhm.
but
Who's his agent? Do you know about that?
For who?
For Aguilar.
I can take a look.
It's not Rosenhaus, is it?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Everybody
I could
that's
be wrong.
represented by Rosenhaus goes to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Literally.
But what was I saying? Jalen Mills, does that spell the end for Gilmore here? You think that's it?
No.
Or no?
No.
I don't get it. We tried to trade him
don't
last
know.
year, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
It's been tough
It's
because
tough
of
to
his
say.
injury.
Yeah.
isn't it awkward for him? He's probably like, what does he think?
Yeah.
They must tell him like if they're gonna trade him or
His
not.
agent knows. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, I mean, it's not small money, it's not big money, but it's a lot of years, 4 years. You have to go get J.C. Jackson. You have to. It's a young, really talented cornerback, and you already have Jonathan Jones under contract. And Gilmore's on his last year. You took most of his money going into this year and put it into last year. It's just, it sounds like it's leading up to it.
Draft day trade maybe.
Maybe, yeah. And
Maybe
I don't know
a
what
pick
that's
for,
going
like,
to be.
I don't know.
If they're trying to move up for a QB in that first round, I could see them packaging their first round pick with like either a Gilmore or N'Keal Harry, depending on what team they're trading with and what that team's need is.
Right.
That kind of a deal to move up a few spots.
N'Keal Harry, too. What does this say about him with these receivers?
I mean,
That he's a bust?
if we can
Oh,
trade
yeah,
him,
we knew
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'd be happy if we can trade him for
Yeah.
anything.
It just
It sucks because
it
we
sucks.
drafted him.
Yeah, and he's a first round pick, so if you
Yeah.
trade him, you lose cap and dead money and all that. But we've done that multiple years. Patriots keep doing that every year with these draft picks. Cyrus Jones, all these guys.
my God,
The
Cyrus
list
Jones,
goes
that was
on
a
and
bad
on. Dominic Easley, like all these guys, on and on. You cut them, you end up trading them, and you
Duke
lose money
Dawson.
because of it. Duke Dawson,
Mm-hmm.
man. Aaron Dobson, all these guys. It's
names,
disgusting.
These names are all bringing up horrible.
These are all first and second round
Hang
picks
on.
too.
Many bad
Though
picks.
I think it might be in the worst of the bunch. Who is that safety from Harvard that went to the Falcons?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I forgot the name though.
It was one of the worst because I remember against the Eagles he had to play a lot of time.
Yeah, and he was a major reach to
The
begin
worst.
with. I know who you're talking about. I forget the name. But yeah, I think the biggest one is Matt Judon.
Oh
That's
yeah,
huge.
hands down.
Easily.
That's a good
That is
sign.
hands
Yeah.
down.
It might. I don't think was it the biggest Yeah, it was the biggest contract. But even if it wasn't, that
But by comparison, like it was a pretty solid contract if you look at what
Oh,
contracts
yeah.
other players.
14
are
million a year is perfect.
yeah, pass rusher,
good
linebacker.
contract.
He's 28 years old, so he's in his prime. 28. If he plays out the contract, he's 32 when it ends. So
And like if you read his player profile, it just screams Belichick.
Oh yeah.
yeah, linebacker, pass rusher. So now you have in the middle if Hightower comes back because they do the 3-4 defense unless he changes it up.
Mhm.
You have Hightower and Bentley. You have Judon on one side. Who do you have on the other? Uche.
Winovich.
Winovich isn't Winovich on the line though for the most part, or I know he can do both.
You can do
but
Winovich
he's-
or Uche.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be on the line probably.
Well, see, it's a good problem to have because now you have a few players that you can rotate
Yep.
in
Right.
at different parts of your front seven.
Right, Winovich, Uche. You brought Wise back, so you have these guys. You have a lot of. I think the defense is pretty set. Honestly,
I wish I can get Lawrence Guy back. He's so good.
Yeah.
They still might. You never know. But I think the number one issue right now is getting David Andrews back.
Oh yeah,
I'm
hands down.
kind of surprised that didn't happen today. Did you see what Lindsley got? The Packers center. He went to the Chargers.
Yeah, he got
the
like
most-
60 million.
The biggest
Wow.
contract
Oh,
for
yeah,
a
I saw
center in
that.
NFL history.
Jeez.
Packers fans are pissed because they used all their money on Aaron Jones.
And Jamal's gone. Jamal.
Yeah,
Williams.
he's definitely gone. They just drafted AJ Dillon. That makes those draft picks look even stranger. I don't know.
Good, yeah.
But that's great for Justin Herbert. I love Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
So he's getting the protection. They have a top pick they can use on a guy. I like
Speaking
it.
of protection, Patrick Mahomes got protected.
Yeah.
Joe
Oh my
Tooney.
God,
Yep.
dude. What a
Biggest contract in offensive lineman history.
And they still have
Jeez.
cap space.
Somehow.
Once Pat Mahomes reworks his contract.
Yeah.
Oh no, he reworked it. He had
already
30.
did, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had 33 million free space. I guess like 15 of it went to Tooney.
Jeez.
I don't get how they can clear up space so easily. It makes no sense.
They're still in the receiver market too, because I don't know if they bring Sammy Watkins back, and if they don't,
Yeah,
you're not going to.
You need a good number two.
Yeah,
next to
you're not
Tyreek
going
Hill.
into it with Mecole Hardman, the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
some of these, they're probably waiting for one of these guys to kind of get separated from the group, and
Mhm.
they'll just
But
sign.
You
him.
know what that team needs? They need like a good slot receiver, like someone who has a little size, can sort of play that physical middle of the field game. Because like Kelsey is a little bit soft for like his size.
Mhm.
They don't have like a big tough player that can make like those in traffic catches.
Right.
And it shows like when they play against teams like the Bucks in the Super Bowl who have a great D line that can get to you fast, like all of a sudden you don't have the time to let the routes play out. So you have to find like different ways to get the ball to different players. Like if Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelsey are constantly getting double teamed, like you need a tough receiver that can, fight through physical contact at the line of scrimmage, because that's how teams are playing the Chiefs now.
Right.
Everyone's gonna copy the Bucks now going into next year.
I mean, that's why I'm so happy that we've gotten our defense like really strong now. Like I think that's a recipe to beat the Chiefs.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to look at it just to like not go off on the Chiefs right now, but since they do still have some cap here and they definitely need a second receiver. What do you think? Marvin Jones, T.Y. Hilton?
But I don't know if they
maybe?
can afford maybe Ty, but I don't think
So,
they can
like-
afford some of those guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would,
I mean,
I
a lot
would,
of them
I
are
wouldn't
gone.
think Ty. I would think more like Emmanuel Sanders.
They could.
That
They
would
could
be
do
one
that.
of them. I would also say Danny Amendola could go there.
Yeah, maybe. So
Dolphins have been in on Kenny Galladay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that before free agency started, but that's it makes sense.
That'll be a huge contract.
I don't know how Tua's going to get him the ball, but I mean, hey,
If they still have Tua,
yeah, true.
they have the third overall pick. You
Oh,
never
no.
know.
Yeah.
They'll probably draft a quarterback. To be honest,
Ah.
why not?
I don't
could.
think. I think if they don't trade for Watson, they're going to stick with Tua. That's what I think.
But
I
if
don't know.
they get Galladay, who are they gonna draft? at
you could
number
take another,
three?
you could take a receiver.
Another receiver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay, Devontae Parker, and a third receiver. Why not?
Yes.
I'd rather
Imagine
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith and Kenny Galladay
Yeah, that's
With
crazy.
Devontae Parker.
and Devontae
Yeah.
Parker
If
and
Sewell,
Gesicki.
yeah, if Sewell, the offensive tackle
unreal.
from Oregon's still there, that could be an option too to try to protect Tua a little bit more. That
Good.
makes a lot of sense too.
Bengals
know
have
if
the
it's-
fourth pick, so
Do they? I don't know.
They'll-
They have 5th pick.
Oh,
They'll draft an
Yeah.
O-lineman.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Have
the
to.
Bengals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to.
That's the problem with the Bengals. Not to go off on the draft now. It's just like if that guy's gone, I don't think they have to trade back or it's going to be a
Maybe.
major reach because the offensive linemen.
Imagine
are
if Pats trade up.
but
Yeah.
They should try. Trade as many guys as you can, even if it's like 3 pay. If you can trade N'Keal Harry, Sony Michel, you move up from 15 to 13. I love it. Just
Yeah.
do it. Like,
it's more likely that they trade Sony Michel than N'Keal Harry
I'd hope so.
because it's going to actually cost you money to trade N'Keal Harry.
Right. Just go to Damian Harris. Yeah, if there's a time to trade Sony, if you even can, it's now. That's another guy, running back, James White.
He's probably gone, I think.
You think so?
Mhm.
So they got to draft someone because they only have 2 running backs now. 'Cause
And
Burkhead's
Need a
gone.
pass
too.
catch.
I was going to say
back.
Burkhead's also a free agent.
Yeah. So
There was a rumor that they're trying to talk to running backs right now.
Jamal
I
Williams.
saw that. I saw a rumor. It was someone tweet. I forgot who it was exactly. They threw.
Yeah,
it
I
at
think
the end
I
of
think it
their
was
tweet.
Garofalo.
Was it?
Yeah.
They
Or
threw
Garofalo. or whatever
Garofalo.
that's-
Yeah. Garoppolo.
Yeah.
They're talking, or they had talked to
Top
a
backs.
couple of the top backs on the free agent market, but it's not. Those running backs are looking elsewhere.
But who would you classify as a top back right now in the free agency?
If you're a running back, I would love to go to the Pats now. Like they're at least what it looks like right now.
It's gonna be a
They-
run-first
like
offense.
40 times a game we're running the ball down the middle.
Like
type of
last
team.
year.
Like yeah,
They should. They should.
but with the better pieces to be able to play that style.
Yeah.
Right. If you're trying to wonder who those running backs are, the first 2 that came to my mind were James Conner and Chris Carson.
I wouldn't touch James
Oh,
Conner with 10 football.
Chris Carson is the best available back right
I
now.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He
think
is.
Chris Carson's.
I feel like
Well,
he's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
he
Also,
probably is. Yeah.
Carlos Hyde is signed with the Jaguars.
Did he?
Yeah.
he did.
2
Wasn't
years.
he there already?
It was
at
a
one
very
point?
small
No, Carlos
contract.
Hyde was on the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I meant before though. Didn't he
He
get
was, with
traded?
the, he was with the Texans.
He
Yeah, but
was on
wasn't
the
he-
Texans before the Texans.
Didn't he go to the Browns earlier and then he
It was
got
the
traded to
Browns.
the Jaguars? That's when
Yeah.
Nick Chubb broke out. Didn't they just dump him to the Jags?
I don't know.
I think that happened. Sorry, I'm like
Something.
fantasy
Yeah,
football. Like,
Maybe
okay, so he's gone. They have Penny still. They have a couple
Rashad
of
Penny.
those
They'll
guys,
probably
though.
try and re-sign Carson like to big money if they can. I don't know.
I don't know if they even can.
Yeah.
What does Russell Wilson do if they let that guy go?
yeah.
They can't let Russell Wilson go. Like all these reports are. I think it's BS. Like,
Would you sign Mike Davis?
If you're the Patriots,
Yeah. He did pretty well with McCaffrey out.
yeah, on a short deal, like 2-year deal,
Yeah.
like some
Yeah.
little bit of money, like yeah, I'd throw a little bit there.
That's what I would get.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I
a-
don't
that's
think
a pretty
he's
good
that. I don't think he's that great of a pass catching back. He's a decent running back.
He was kind of forced to be that last
Yeah.
year with McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there aren't really any elite pass catching backs.
Jamal Williams, I
out
think, is
there.
James White's the only one.
Yeah,
yeah, and it seems
Kenyon Drake.
yeah,
Not
that's
really.
gonna be a lot of money.
yeah,
Still,
I feel like he's an ass for too much.
You have Burkhead, but he's coming off a torn ACL.
I don't think Burkhead's coming back. He's just 4 or 5 games a
Deion
year
Lewis
on
is
average.
old.
No,
Yeah,
he's, no,
He's not
no,
coming back.
No.
They could draft a running back.
Yeah,
Honestly, they might.
I think they'll probably make a signing. They'll probably draft someone, try to find that next.
I mean,
pass
most
catcher.
of their signings have been on the defensive side,
yeah.
so it's
But the thing
reasonable.
I think
is-
it's right down the middle.
Yeah. I
It is.
guess.
The thing is,
Like,
Bill is
After the
better.
last couple free agents.
Bill's
got
better at drafting
receivers.
defensive players. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
sucks at drafting
Oh, yeah.
offensive players.
Well, we say that, and then we look at some of these 2nd-round picks on defense, and it's
yeah.
defensive
Yeah,
backs at
atrocious.
least. Well, getting back to the draft, now that you guys mention it, with all these signings, all these holes that he's filling, really, I can't really think of anything on defense. Maybe like another defensive tackle, maybe like getting them back in the because Lawrence Guy is potentially gone.
Yeah.
Like a pass rushing defensive
Yeah.
tackle, you know. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Godshow.
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 like
He's a nose tackle, like run stuffer, which is great. They
He
needed
was
that.
he was injured mostly of last year.
Right.
But before that,
Before that,
he
he
was-
had 75
yeah.
tackles or 70-something tackles. He's not a big sack guy, but if that's something they're missing, definitely right in the middle. They have some pass rushers now on the edges, but I'd say really on defense, that's the main thing. Just right in the middle there.
Yeah.
As long as everyone comes back for that opted out last year. So now you're looking at the offense. Offensive line, if they don't get Andrews back, that's huge. But if they do, you're probably set there. Now that you traded for Trent Brown, you still have Wynn, you have Owenu, you still have Shaq Mason. I can't think of anything. They have some solid backups like Huron and some of those guys. You're done at tight end pretty
You
much.
need weapons, bro. Running back, receiver, I think.
Yeah, running back.
Yeah, I think
And quarterback.
just in general, skill position players and quarterback.
Right. So what do they do in the draft now?
I think in the first round, no matter what, you trade up as much as you can to either get the top available receiver or quarterback, depending on how the draft board plays
Are you
out.
happy with that?
Ideally quarterback.
I don't think
but
they're going offense in the first round.
Really?
I think they're going defense.
After all this,
Maybe.
you think they
I
go
mean, that's-
defense?
Here's what I would say, and it really does depend on what the other teams do.
Yeah.
If a lot of the quarterbacks go heavy in like early rounds, you're gonna have a lot of people fall to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hypothetically speaking, if they stay at 15, and the main player that I want and I would love on this team, Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons,
Yeah.
I would take him.
He's been the first one to go.
Yeah.
I've heard he might fall. Oh, they just announced that Henry Anderson's money 2-year deal worth $7 million, max value of 11.
That's
Okay.
cheap.
I mean, that's another defensive lineman. So like you already mentioned that, but
Because that's the thing. They're both, I don't know if he's a defensive end or a defensive tackle, but you still need another defensive tackle there.
I'd say so. But there's no one really around their pick in the first round that I can think of like on the spot. We did that whole draft thing a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
They're,
So
based on their free agent signings, now they're in a unique spot where they don't have to go to any one position in the first round. They could take the best available player for the most part.
But I trust them with defense over offense.
Right.
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
you know what just came to in my head?
What?
It's just
What? Say it. Spit it out.
all this is just leading up to if the guy that he doesn't want is there, it's just Bill trading back.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my god.
you can never rule that out with Bill. That's probably going to happen.
The
That's just
highest, the highest pick we've had in decades, and he trades back. I'd be so pissed.
Oh man, that's just it's just like that's
You
just,
can already see it happen.
yeah, especially now.
Especially after all the free
You have the
agent
luxury.
signings, like he doesn't want to pay a top end like first round pick now, so he's gonna trade back for like cheaper second round
Yeah.
guys.
He won't trade. If he's going to trade down, he'll still stay in the first round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
But
not
he's
saying
He's
that.
not going to trade down for like 2 second round picks.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I could see him going maybe like
Then 20.
in the mid to late 20s and try to get that team's second round pick too, maybe. And I'm loving the picks. Going back to the Cannon trade, that was huge. That was
That was
honestly with all of these moves, that might be my favorite move. Like not to like over exaggerate it, but I said, you know, I'm not always right about these things, but I was sitting there in my living room when I was still VM Sports doing this like a year ago when all the opt-outs were coming in, or almost a year ago. I don't think, was it around this time? Or it was after the draft, sorry. It was after the draft.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there doing this video and I'm like going over all the opt-outs because it all came in on one day. So I was like, crap, I have to do something. I'm sitting there, I'm like, Hightower's huge. Patrick Chung's huge.
Cannon.
Who else?
Cannon opted out.
Bolden opted out, right?
Brandon Bolden opted out. Marcus Cannon opted
Didn't
out.
Slater opt out and he
No.
came back or something?
No, Hightower opted out. Chung opted out.
Yeah, those are the
Then
two
you,
big ones.
then you had Ryan Izzo, I think, opted out.
Did he?
No.
He might as well
the
have.
other tight end. The other shitty tight end.
Oh,
CSE?
Lacoste?
Lacoste. Matt Lacoste opted
Hollister?
out.
It's not
No,
like it matters.
Hollister's on the Seahawks.
Yeah. So Cannon, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Cannon, I'm like, oh, all these are huge. And I was like, except Cannon. I was like, this is literally addition by subtraction. I was like, get this guy out of here. And all the money you got, first of all, to do whatever Bill wanted to do. He didn't really do much with it, but you got that money back. And now he's gone. Cannon's gone. And not only did you free up, was it $7 million going into today, right before?
Yep, $7 million.
$7 million getting rid of
That's
that
huge.
contract.
And the next
dumping
rumor
him.
is that there could be a restructure coming in for Hightower.
Cool. That's
that
great.
would be
Awesome.
amazing.
So not only did you do that, you move up in in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds. You're the 15th pick in all those rounds. It was all your picks and all the Texans' picks. They're the 3rd pick in all those rounds. You have 12 picks in every round. That 4th round pick is basically another 3rd round pick.
That's true.
The way we think about it,
Yeah.
So now you have the 1 first, you have 1 second, you have the 3rd that you originally started off with. Then you get the comp pick. What happened
No,
to
we
the
don't
3rd?
get a comp pick
They
this
don't.
year.
No. So they don't have their own 3rd round pick. They lost it because of the Bengals cheating scandal.
Oh, that's right.
They have the 3rd comp pick.
I forgot about that whole
Yep.
fiasco.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So they should have had 2/3 if they weren't cheating.
Oh. Okay, well, you still have the comp pick.
Yeah, you have the 3rd comp pick, which is a
Yeah.
high end 4th. Then you have the Texans 4th rounder. Then you have, I think, a second 4th. I'm not entirely sure. I'll take a look.
I
We
think
got
it's
a
I think it's your
comp-
own 4th.
We got a comp pick, I think.
We did. We got a 3rd and a 4th comp pick. But we also the
Yeah.
Patriots also had their own 4th, right? I'm pretty sure. So
I'm gonna take a
Oh,
look
they
right now.
used that to trade up with the Texans. I'm going blank now. They
Twenty
moved up in the
numbers.
5th. They moved up in the 6th. It's great. It's great. You moved up in all those rounds and you got rid of a guy that you didn't need anymore, and he was making a lot of money. probably strapping you from making these moves.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the biggest, if not the best deals, even with some of these free agency signings. Like I think it was probably top 3, in my opinion, between the transactions they made so far. Judon, Jonu, and Cannon getting sent away to Houston.
So, yeah, they have a first-round pick, second-round pick, 1/3, which is the comp, 2 4ths, 1 5th, 2 6th, 1 7th.
Okay.
Not bad.
It's not bad. It's not the most amount they've had. I think they had more last year.
We could trade some of these.
But the picks themselves weren't as good.
Right.
Worse positioning.
Yeah. I don't know. If they trade the first round pick for a player, maybe I think we were talking about a receiver, but they've done that before. But it was like at least 10 picks later.
Yeah.
So
The last time they traded a first-round pick for a player was Cooks.
yeah, and that was like mid to late 20s.
But then didn't we trade him and get a first
got a
round
first
back?
round
We got a
pick,
first-round
yeah.
back for him.
and then we blew it.
Yep, big time.
So, and then trading him, the Saints nailed it.
Yeah.
The pick that they got from the Patriots on Ryan Remchek, the offensive tackle.
It's official on Bud Dupree. Titans got him.
So they couldn't.
Wow.
So they decided to let all these guys go, but they were able to use the money on bringing him back. All right.
I think it was more about the players just getting good deals.
Maybe,
and leaving
yeah.
free
Well,
agency.
they definitely needed to work on
The
defense.
Titans' offense is kind of gross now. I mean, Derrick
Well,
Henry, AJ
No,
Brown.
you have AJ Brown.
AJ
Yeah,
Brown,
but-
Derrick Henry. You can draft another receiver if you really want to.
Their backup tight end was also decent when Jonah was out.
Ferkser, yeah.
Yeah.
He was solid.
Their offense is still fine.
They let Adam Humphries go too. They'll probably bring in like a
They're fine.
the Titans are a solid team. That's actually really good for them to go get
From
a guy
a
like Bud
fantasy
Dupree.
standpoint, though, I love Derrick Henry
I
and AJ
love
Brown this
Henry.
year. They're gonna get like a million touches. each
Yeah.
every game.
Henry's a top 3 pick this year. I love it.
Oh yeah, that was no matter what. Let's just hope they don't stack the box though if they only have AJ Brown on receiver.
They could, dude. They stacked the box last year. They lost their starting left tackle, and he still put up 2,000
This
yards.
guy loves that.
He loves
I got him 2 years in a row in fantasy. I love him.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm loving this. I expected something. I didn't expect this today.
Oh,
None
no.
of us
I did not
expected
expect
The
this
rumors
today.
are true that they're
Eight
going to be
moves,
aggressive.
What was it?
It's like 8 or 9 moves like in a day. Like
Yeah.
This
within
draft,
a few hours, like it
Yeah.
was nuts. Like
this draft's gonna be huge.
I could have seen one of the tight ends, Hunter Henry, Jonu, even Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
Like that, I was like, that's gonna happen. The money on Jonu, like, is like, wow. But what are you gonna do?
I wonder how much Henry goes for.
I know he's
has to be
viewed around the
I
NFL
think
as
some
a
of
better
these
player.
contracts are gonna look like steals in a year or two.
They could.
Because the cap went down this year because of COVID and everything, but it's gonna go back up in the
No,
long run.
they
and,
signed a new TV deal.
Yeah.
Hasn't been officially announced
Right.
yet. These deals
like
are all
the
good.
cap's going back up, and some of these contracts are gonna look like incredible deals.
Right.
The Judon deal, I think, is going to be
Yeah.
the steal.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love stealing him from the Ravens.
Oh,
That's
that's
amazing.
That makes it
Yeah.
even sweeter.
Yeah.
Some of these players, like again, you take one from the Dolphins, you take one from the Titans, you take one from the Ravens. They're all teams that were better than you last year.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love it. Raiders, even the Raiders were better than you last year. You took Aguilar. I love it. Most of the players they signed today were from the AFC.
AFC, yeah.
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 think
I think, was it just Bourne?
Bill's just
Yeah.
playing
Kendrick
4D
Bourne was the only one
chess.
from the
Yeah.
NFC.
Yeah. You took that Henderson guy. He was
From the Jets.
From the Jets. Watch it. He's going to turn into something now. He was on the Jets.
I
We have
mean,
no idea who he
Lawrence
is.
Guy, before we signed him, was on the Ravens.
Oh yeah, but Lawrence Guy was.
He was under the radar there.
Yeah, he was. I knew who Lawrence Guy was though. I don't know who this Hendrickson guy is or Henderson guy, whatever. Yeah, I knew they weren't going to sign a guy like Kenny Golladay, a guy like Will
No.
Fuller.
No,
that was,
no.
That was never on the
Never,
table. They would waste away here because, like you said, Cam can't get them the ball, and that's what I want to talk about to really like end this because we've been kind of drooling over the signings here, rightfully so. But like I said when I started on the Patriots, I'm happy about really everything except Cam,
I know.
Yeah.
and I've expressed that. I know you're kind of in the same boat with me at least.
So
and-
I have a friend that has his own, essentially like a Patriots blog.
okay,
Not a vlogger or podcaster, but he has his own blog.
right. I should
He's
probably
a
be doing
heavy.
that.
And his name's also Vinny.
Oh.
So
Here we go.
Competition.
But here's the difference. He's heavy on the side of defending Cam, and his argument is, you get the talent around Cam, he's going to do better. The problem with Cam is not the talent around him. The problem is that he can't throw the ball anymore.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
this is what we were saying, like when we were arguing in our chat, like the last couple of days. Like My one comment was like, guys, if you just watch him play, he physically is unable to throw a football
Right.
anymore. Like,
Because
forget that you can make a million excuses, and they're all right. Like, yeah, he didn't have the best talent. He got COVID, this, that. All absolutely true. Like, he was in a losing situation. But at the end of the day, if you just watch him play a game, he, he uses his entire body to generate enough force to throw the football. Like, it's like Drew Brees and Peyton Manning in their last year. Like, that's what he looks like when he's throwing.
he's looking like he's throwing out his arm every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that. The argument, I know what part you were talking about in that group chat we were in. It's just the argument being made was the whole, COVID, the playbook, no off season to really learn. He came in late, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, but that doesn't affect him physically. Sure, like I get it. It takes some time to catch up. But I know Cam's a smart guy. He probably figured that out pretty quickly. Maybe he wasn't all there right away, but not having the time in the offseason doesn't affect your arm strength and the fact that you can't run anymore. Those don't add up. There's no correlation there. He just can't do it anymore. His whole thing in his career was running between the 10s and just getting brutalized and brutalizing the defense every time. And now he can't do that anymore. He can't run between the 10s. From the 10 to the 10, he can't do it. Within the 10, sick. But he's 6'5".
Yeah, and if
I could have done that.
And if you look at the run plays they run with him, it's at the goal line where it's literally the same exact play you
It's
would run
predictable.
for a
That's the
fullback,
problem.
Right.
But they're just running it with Cam. Like, it's not like he's doing something special. It's like a design play that any big body could
Right.
punch in at the goal line.
Here's what I would say. The excuse making for Cam is also the worst. They're saying that, one, he had COVID and that affected him, or he had no training camp and all that. Okay, so what about every other team that didn't have training camp either?
Yeah, with their
That's
free
one
agents. Right.
And also to combat the COVID argument, he sucked in the game before he had COVID. The Raiders game.
Yeah.
He was atrocious. The only reason why we won that game by like 20 is because of our run game.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Raiders just
The Raiders also
don't show up sometimes.
By the way, Bud Dupree, $16.5 million a year.
Wow.
Didn't he get hurt last year?
I
Didn't
think
he
he
like
did.
didn't he
I
tear
think-
his
I think he
ACL?
did.
I thought he tore his ACL.
I think they signed him because they knew that Clowney was that bad.
Yeah.
Clowney was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
last year.
No, the Titans definitely
Clowney's
needed-
lost it even before. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like Cliff.
It's just the thing with Cam, it's like you were saying, like the whole designed run within the 10, great. But it just felt like even as big as he is, as strong as he still is strong. Like you have to be at 6'5", 6'6",
Yeah.
250, 260. It just felt like it was a 50-50 shot of him getting in every time.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
And less than that by the end of the year. If you pay attention, those runs were working a lot more in the beginning of the year. And once teams started catching on, they would just stack the box at the goal line, and they weren't able to run it in as successfully.
Right. And I get it. It's tough. Like they had to keep going to that because no one else was doing anything. The receivers weren't great. There was no red zone threat, end zone threat, no tight ends. The running, Damian Harrison didn't come on until like later in the year. It's just, and you've got some pieces now, but it's like, can he get it done? Can he move us down the field? Can he move the Patriots and get them in that position to score? And the other thing is, what happened last year if they don't have that top 4, top 5 offensive line? What happens to Cam? What happens to this team? I think that saved them. Really, imagine you had a bottom 4.
Belichick also saved them as well.
Right. But imagine you had a bottom 5 offensive line, is what I'm trying to say. Even
That's it,
bottom 15, middle of the pack. What happens? How many more games do we lose? The Patriots lose. It's crazy. So I don't know, maybe another year of knowing the system even more, because you can always learn more, especially on the Patriots, the longer you're in the system. Tom Brady was doing it until the very end, I think. So, there's another year of learning. There's another year. I want to say there's another year of getting healthy, but how much healthier is he really going to be than last year? He played almost an entire season. You're a little more banged up. All the more. Now he has even more yardage on him, so mileage. So
I think they'll at least draft a quarterback. I don't know what round, but hopefully someone good, I mean, we'll see.
They have to.
At least Cam's not like expensive. We signed him to such little money.
Right.
Like barely any guarantee.
The guarantee is less than $4 million. That's the main thing.
That's the one thing. When I first saw the $14 million, I was like, I flew
all
out of
freaked
my
out.
I freaked out.
Yeah, I freaked.
Dude, I freaked out too. I was like, what?
It's progressively looked better and better.
Yeah.
I'll give it that, but still,
I know
don't
it's not like exciting
Yeah.
to have him as a starting QB
Yeah.
after what we saw last year.
He's just the other
And
thing.
the
is-
fans are going to be returning to the stadium. I can't wait to do it.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Can you imagine
I
that
would've-
game against the Bucks?
I'm
when
going
Brady
to that
comes
game.
back?
I'm gonna try my best to get a
What
ticket.
week is
dude,
that
that'd be
too?
sick
That's
to
like
tailgate at.
I'm
Is it
going.
home?
Yeah.
It's here.
And
It's-
it's
Brady.
like, what, week
Here's the
10?
thing. Brady's. I don't know what week it is because the schedule's not out.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Brady's coming back to play in New England, and then Cam's also going to Carolina to play this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
and that's gonna be a primetime game, so it'll
They
be,
have to be.
Sunday or Monday night.
yeah.
or Thursday. I mean, yeah, they won't put Thursday.
They wouldn't put that one.
They
up.
wouldn't put it on Thursday.
So
No,
it's gonna be a Sunday or
Tailgating.
Monday.
it'll be a
night.
Sunday night game. It has
Yeah,
to
I
be.
feel like Sunday night.
Tailgating, we can start. We don't have to wake up that early. We can
I
head
hope it's a
down.
September game. I really
Yeah,
hope.
that'd be dope.
Yeah.
If it's a
Wow,
November
a
and December game,
September
it'll be
Sunday night game.
That'd be sick.
Tailgate. We'll go to CBS scene
Oh yeah.
like we
Yeah.
usually do. Not,
Oh, yeah.
not even
that's,
get game
That's
tickets.
the best way
Yeah,
to do it.
I'll be wearing my Brady jersey,
Yeah.
the Buccaneers one.
100%.
I'll be wearing my Pats.
Pat's Brady.
Yes.
Cheer for both. Yeah.
Imagine all the fans that will have Pat's Brady jersey still on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's not even a question,
Damn.
Gronk too, probably.
Oh yeah.
dude. I seriously can't like. It just I'm going back to it in terms of the Judon deal. Judon plays the exact same position as Dupree,
Mhm.
except Dupree got $2.5 million more coming off of an injury.
Wow.
That is insane.
He's younger though, Bud Dupree. I'm pretty sure.
By how much?
It's 2 or 3 years. I think.
Judon's 28, and he's significantly better than Dupree.
Yeah, I'd say so. But like, it's like age comes into too because
I
people.
guess.
It's like the same argument. Allen Robinson and Chris Godwin going into before they got tagged. It's like, okay, yeah, Allen Robinson's probably better than Chris Godwin at this point. He just hasn't obviously been on.
Do you want to hear
a good
gross,
team?
Do you want to hear a gross deal?
Right. Yeah. Go ahead. But he's younger. Is my point.
Yeah.
Godwin's younger,
Yeah.
so you know,
Right.
like
Which
he's
one? Which one do you think I'm
more
going to talk
valuable.
about?
gross deal. I don't know. I haven't seen my phone. I haven't looked at my phone.
The Giants got their backup running back for Saquon,
Oh no.
Devontae Booker.
Ugh. Whatever.
2 years,
Yeah,
$6 million.
Whatever.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, he did okay with the Raiders, but what are the Raiders doing? Everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing with Cam is like, I kind of said this half jokingly last time on the last video. It was just, it's like, dude, now you have Trent Brown. The guy's 6'8", he's huge. Like, is Cam gonna drill this guy in the numbers every time he throws it on the left side or right side, whatever side he plays on? It's like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get it over his head. Like you say, the way
I
he
don't know.
throws the football, like, how's he gonna get it to these guys? You got it. He's still yes, it's awesome. You got Kendrick Bourne, you got Nelson Aguilar, Jonu Smith. Are they going to get the ball? Are they going to get the ball
It's going to be
consistently?
a lot of like designed run after the catch kind of plays.
Yeah, it's
Like
going to
where
be.
you're getting the ball to your receivers and tight end and like
Yeah.
and running back in like short yardage situations.
Right. It's going to be kind of like a ground and pound kind of team. It looks
Mm-hmm.
like. Which if I wish I had a little more faith in the running backs. If that's the way they're going to go,
I have more faith in Damian Harris.
I have more faith in Damian Harris and Sony Michelle. But I don't know if that says much. Like,
Probably not.
you know.
But also, out of all the free agent running backs, other than Chris Carson, but even then, Chris Carson's injury prone. There's no other running back.
He'll still get a lot of
Yeah.
money, and we would never
Yeah.
pay him the money.
Here's
he's
the
gonna
thing.
get.
We say Chris Carson's injury prone, but he plays through these injuries.
Yes.
He's been a pretty consistent guy in that offense for the
Like,
Seahawks. He'll miss like a game or two a year.
Kamara has missed more games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Christian McCaffrey has missed more
Yeah.
games.
James Conner, I know, like I mentioned that's one of the guys that came to mind.
I hate him.
I don't want him.
Oh, no
I was
way.
just saying,
No way.
I hate James Conner.
Why?
fantasy football
Just
grudge.
fantasy
Fantasy football grudge.
That's
He has a
I've got-
great.
That's fair enough.
Derrick
Fair
Henry's worked out for him the past couple of years. James Conner has not worked out for him for the past couple of years. It's the exact opposite.
So I had.
Some you lose
So
some.
here's what happened. It was 3 or 4 years ago. We did the draft at Dre's house. I drafted Le'Veon Bell 3rd overall. I'm very happy. The year he decides to opt out the entire year. So last pick I got James Conner. He went off for me. It's amazing. The year after I draft James Conner, injured,
Yeah.
sucked.
Did you have him last
that
year
happen?
too? Did you go back to him or no?
No,
Okay.
I had Derrick Henry and I had James Robinson.
Yeah.
So once a player screws you once, they're on your shit list forever.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah. George thought that Derrick Henry would do that to me this year. He didn't.
Yeah, but he was
CEH
good
did
for
that to
you
me.
last year.
He was amazing. For
That
me
was
this
with
year.
me. That was me with Corey Davis. I was on the Corey Davis bandwagon for
Understand.
like the first 2 or 3 years, and he sucked. And then this year he went
Yeah,
off when
I had
didn't
him in
have
one of my leagues, dude. He was nasty.
Not to go too crazy with fantasy football, but I know you're a fellow high pick user on CEH.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like me. What,
Good luck with that.
what do we do? Where does he go this year?
He's hard to predict. Like anyone who drafted him high, you weren't wrong about the talent. Like what happened with him was unpredictable. Like
probably go third round, I
couldn't
think.
have predicted them trading for Lev Bell and them passing as often as they did. I think people expect, at least I did when I drafted CEH. Like I thought they'd have a little bit more of a balanced approach, not passing like 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm staying away from that backfield this year. They don't run the ball. They just don't run the ball.
Yeah.
No, that's. I don't even
The
know
only
why
sure
they.
thing for the Titans is Mahomes, Hill,
And Chiefs.
or
Chiefs.
Kelsey.
Yep.
Oh, Chiefs, my bad. The only thing. The only.
No, those three are automatic every year.
I don't understand using the first round pick on him if that's the way it was going to go last
Right.
year. You know, whatever. I drafted that guy over Dalvin Cook, man.
Yep.
All right. Fantasy football.
That's a discussion for another day.
We'll get there at some
It's
point.
you know what it is.
Can't
You
wait.
fall in love with the unknown.
Right.
That's the thing with fantasy.
Because it's worked
Sometimes
out in the
you-
last few years. That's the
Right.
thing.
Saquon and some other
Saquon was
guys.
one of them.
Yeah.
Who else was
Zeke when he was a rookie.
Kamara his
like-
rookie year.
there? Yep.
Yeah. Well, he
All
wasn't
those-
drafted high though. He was
No,
mostly a
but-
pickup. You know.
Yeah. But
Fournette,
it's the same
Fournette when he
idea.
was a high pick worked out. Zeke worked
yeah.
out high pick.
Yeah.
You had, I mean,
And he was on the best offense in the league.
yeah.
Super Bowl champions. Like.
You would think that would work out better than what it
Right.
did.
Right.
It's understandable.
All right. We're about what's today? Monday, March 15th.
Mm-hmm.
We're months away from this conversation.
Yes.
So
let's
let's at least wait till after the draft.
Yeah, let's get to the actual draft first.
Yeah.
These like NFL milestones always make me like get that itch for fantasy again.
Big
Oh
time.
my God.
Big time.
There's this one guy I follow on Twitter. I forget his name. He always every Sunday he tweets like so many more Sundays, like the exact number, and I'm like, oh my God, like
Well, a little early for that.
yeah, and he does it as soon as the season ends.
Oh my God.
Smart move.
Every Sunday. So I don't know, man. I think the Patriots. I said it before. I've said it a lot today. It's just when you're laying down on the ground, the only way is up. You can only go up. So last year from last year to this year, there's only going up.
Yeah, we
whether
can't
they
get
made
worse.
more moves or not, like it really couldn't have gone a lot worse unless they went into this year with like Jarrett Stidham or Brian Hoyer as quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I personally would have preferred Fitzpatrick if you were going the free agent route. That's just me. Jimmy G, I thought was probably the most attainable, realistic, and the best option
Yeah.
for them.
But they don't want to trade him.
I guess not. So
It depends on what San Francisco does.
right,
That's what it is.
right.
So,
So far they've done really nothing. So
I think they're holding off until the draft.
that makes sense.
It's either going to be one, they trade up to get a quarterback, or two, they trade for Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
Either Jimmy G is getting cut or he's going to get traded. The problem is that if he does get cut, he's definitely not coming to the Patriots
Probably not now.
because he's going to be able to get more money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Specifically, yeah,
Don't you think Bill would be more willing to offer money than anyone else?
the way
Loves
that
him.
he's spending money right now and not on the quarterback, I don't think so. I'm
But
if
like
he
to
gets
your
cut,
earlier point, Cam Newton's dead cap hit is only $4 million. Like if Jimmy
True.
G becomes available, all of a sudden you can cut Cam. You take
Yeah.
that $4 million hit and then just sign Jimmy G.
Don't get me wrong, I want Jimmy G on this team, but I
He's
also
the best
see,
He's
Yeah.
the best semi-realistic option there is.
I also think the main team that you should look out for if he does get cut, Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
Mitch is
I've
gone
seen that
already.
a lot,
Yep.
Yeah. Where'd he go? Did he go somewhere?
He's a
They-
free agent.
He's
Oh,
a free
you
agent.
said he's gone already. I
Like,
thought it was like, oh man,
They already said that they don't plan on re-signing him.
that's fair. Yeah. I mean, they have all that money with Foles now after trading
Yeah.
for him, so that's awful. But
So, yeah, Rappaport, did you just get it?
yeah, Carl Lawson.
He's pretty good. He's a really good defensive end.
Okay.
Like, really good.
Jets
He-
just signed him, so
yeah.
Damn.
whatever.
AFC's heating up.
Jets are still gonna jet either way.
Yeah.
So
The rumor was that Mitch Trubisky has links to San Francisco.
yeah,
Really?
I've heard Sam Darnold too.
Yeah, both of them.
So
So depending on whoever goes there,
that's
Then-
gonna be the tone setter for the draft. Whatever the Jets do at number 2, that really it's gonna
it could.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge tone.
If they
setter.
go QB, you know what's gonna happen.
This I feel like we say this every year, but this draft is going to be pretty crazy. I think.
Oh, no,
yeah.
it is.
There's just
Well, for us,
I feel
because-
like I've never headed into a draft where there's this many unknowns.
This
at
is
the
the
top
most
of the
we've
draft.
invested in the draft because there's so much like riding on it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Not only that, but just for the whole league, this is the most. I think this is the most quarterbacks before, like every once in a while you have a quarterback like, oh, maybe they're a second round pick and someone takes them in the first, like a team will take like Jordan Love, you didn't know first, maybe early second, but he ended up going in the first. There's a lot of guys where it's like their first round pick, like there's five guys.
Yeah.
It's five guys. There's Lawrence, there's Zach Wilson, there's Trey Lance, there's Justin Fields and Mac Jones.
Yep.
They're all going to be first round picks.
And there may
And
be
they might
more.
all be
There may be more.
They might all
Probably.
be top 15 too.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
I feel like one of them's bound to fall. Like
They could. I could see Mac Jones. I could see
Mac
Bill
Jones will
taking Mac
fall.
Jones and like at 15, just be like, all right, we got the
I'm
guy,
kind of
like-
surprised that Justin Fields is not considered in the top 3.
people are saying like Trey Lance is better. Maybe even Zach Wilson.
Trey Lance
Trey
has
Lance
more.
scares me because
he
he's
has raw
only
talent.
played one
Yeah.
game in like the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
The
I
problem,
think
the thing with him is that he has raw talent, like
Yeah.
insane.
Like he's like
he
a
has
long-term
Mahomes type
project.
talent.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
years, 45 million.
He's good. Carl Lawson's good.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, now that you mentioned the name, I think I know.
No, he's good.
Yeah. Wow. Bengals let him go. What other
Bengals
big
gone
moves?
all in on offense.
I guess so. What other big moves were made today that I'm trying to remember? I know the Ravens lost. They obviously lost Judon to the Patriots, but they signed Kevin Zeitler, the guard.
Oh yeah.
He was on the Giants. That's actually pretty good for them. They were trying to fill that void for a year there.
Honestly, I think the biggest moves were the moves the Bucks and Chiefs made. Both those teams just
Joe
I think,
Tooney, yeah.
solidified their place as the top 2 again by far. I don't think anyone's really.
These last 2 moves from the Jets are pretty good though. I like Corey Davis. I like Carl Lawson.
Yeah, no, they are.
They're good. They're
they
good
are.
moves.
They are, but it's the Jets.
Yeah,
it's
are they
still the Jets.
Am I saying the Jets are going to win more than 2 games? Probably not. But they're still going to.
They'll win more than 2 games.
I'll set them at 4. I'll set them at 4. I'm trying. Yeah, no. I mentioned Lindsley. We mentioned Aaron Jones going back.
Philip Lindsay?
No, Lindsley.
Oh,
Lindsley.
yeah, okay. The center.
The center from the Packers.
Gronk going back to the Bucks.
Yep. Philip Dorsett
Oh, yeah?
To the
That's
Jags.
To the
official?
Jags.
Oh yeah. That was official. 1 year,
Yeah.
$8 million.
Well, yeah. So the Jags are loading up on
The
receiver
Gronk
then.
steal is 1 year, $8 million.
Yeah, that's official.
Oh,
10
okay.
mil,
Yeah.
but I think 8 guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad. A little bit lower than what he got paid last year.
The Jags loading up on like middle of the pack receivers, like
Leonard
you said.
Floyd going back to the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They,
Okay.
I don't even know how they're doing it at this point.
Yeah.
The cap that they apparently don't
Ngakwe
have.
to the Raiders.
Yeah, he left.
a good
He
move
left
for
the
them.
Ravens too. That was a big
It's
move.
another one they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably a rental either way. They knew that, but
Yeah.
it is a loss.
Yeah.
Shaq Barrett, obviously, big move.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Ado was thinking about John Johnson
Oh yeah.
going
yep,
to the Browns.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
they were
yep.
freaking out about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean that's a good deal for the Browns.
Yeah, it's great.
The Browns they're gonna be a good team. Man.
Browns will be
They're
good
gonna win
again.
that division next year.
Oh yeah.
I could.
They
see
could,
that,
yeah.
I mean, Steelers and Ravens have primarily lost players
Yeah.
so far, like big name players for their defenses.
Yeah.
in free agency.
I could see the Ravens still edging
They're
them
not.
out,
Big
but-
Ben is at
Yeah.
his current age, and
It
state is
really
not
does
gonna
depend on what they
anything
do with
Steelers.
Lamar Jackson. Because keep in mind, Orlando Brown still wants to get traded, so they're gonna
Right, yeah.
lose one of their tackles.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Steelers, they lost Bud Dupree already, and looks like they're losing Juju, too. I don't know.
I'm dying
who,
to
but-
see where Juju goes.
Yeah, those top 3 receivers. I really
Well,
want to see what
probably
happens.
won't be the Pats at this point.
No, that's.
I hate Juju. I wouldn't want him on this team.
I personally
I would
wanted.
have preferred him over Aguilar.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
assuming
would've.
assuming
I mean-
the role they're going for is like they need that slot guy.
If they
Juju
tone
would've
him,
been a
if they
more-
tone him down and ban him off TikTok, sure.
I mean,
Wow. Philip Lindsay, as you thought I was talking
really?
about.
Yeah.
No, he didn't sign. He got the restricted free agent tender.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
The
say.
low restricted free agent tender.
All right. I'm kind of upset that we haven't given the tender to what's his face yet, our cornerback,
JC Jackson.
JC Jackson.
yeah.
Maybe they're working something out. I don't know.
They have until Wednesday at 4:00 to do it.
Right. Because that's when free agency officially starts.
Yep.
This is just like the announcement.
which is hilarious
whatever.
because everything comes out before then.
Yeah, of course.
They need
It
to.
has to be done.
They need to
Yeah.
change this up. There shouldn't be a tampering period in between.
It's for the media.
Makes
It's
zero
it's
sense.
it's for the reporters. It's fun. You know, they do it for the
I would
fun.
rather, let's say, like today was the start of free agency, and then just ended there. There shouldn't be a lag in between.
I guess I feel that. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure the Patriots aren't done. There's going to be moves made, well
need a
after
center.
this video.
They
yeah.
need a center. That's the main thing.
Well after this video is
Hopefully, some better moves.
is done.
Some more good
yeah.
moves.
There's going to be some more moves in the NFL. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Patriots get one of these big guys. But yeah, I really wanted Juju. I wanted him to be the number 1 guy here because he can do a lot. I know he can't, like on the field, like he can be a deep threat. He can be a slot guy. he's all around, and he wouldn't be the most expensive receiver to get. And I did want Curtis Samuel too, just because of everything that he can do. I thought those two guys would have been amazing here, especially because Curtis
The thing
Samuel
I like about both of them is they're both very versatile players that have
Right.
like complex route trees. They can run all sorts of different routes. Like they would just fit very well.
right. And if you are
the
going
Pats
with
offense.
Cam, him and Curtis Samuel played together already, so it makes a lot of sense. But whatever's done is done. I'm still happy with the moves that the Patriots made. This was a great day.
So far, so good.
Yeah, this had to be done. It had to be done. There was no way around it. I didn't think it was going to be as rapid fire as this. I didn't think Bill was going to just pull.
It was
I don't
so
even
much
know,
fun, to be honest.
Shane McMahon music, Stone Cold music whenever he's coming out. But
He pulled it out and put it on the table.
yeah, that's a way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Thanks for your reactions. I really appreciate it. And it was really short notice again, but
Great day to do the pod, Vin.
it really ended up being great. So thank you guys
We'll
for
be
coming
back.
on.
No problem.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
Pre-draft show maybe.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
oh,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, there might
Can't
be
wait.
at least one more between
Yeah.
that too. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
absolutely.
Some more free agency and
Definitely.
trades and whatnot. So thank you guys.
No problem, Vin.
Thanks for having us. We'll be back.
Of course. See you all next time.
Call me Big Papa, I'm sunny. Asked about the dick when she wanted.